Hi, everyone. Not sure who's out there, but thanks for being here. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. Today, I want to take a little bit of an easier approach to the class. So just like slowing it down and maybe finding a little bit of a restorative side to Ashtanga Yoga. So that's the page I'm on today. I hope someone out there also is on that page. Yeah, just got my hair up. And if you have any questions or anything else you would like me to focus on today, please let me know. I'd love to hear any requests, any questions, any doubts, any tips, whatever you got for me. All right. We'll get started with some breathing, and then we'll end with a little bit of a meditation today. Okay. So again, if you have questions or anything, please let me know. I'd love to hear them. All right, I'm going to get started. So if we're going to start sitting, and if you need something to support your sitting posture, grab some cushions or some blocks or a bolster to elevate the hips. That's usually really helpful if sitting on the floor gets uncomfortable. So let's just make sure if everything's looking good. All right. So find your comfortable seated position. I'm sitting on a meditation cushion. You can use a pillow, any cushion you have around the house. It makes it just a little bit more comfortable to sit with a straight spine. So the most important thing here is to be comfortable with a straight spine. So whatever you need to do to find comfort here, please go ahead and do that. Okay, you bring your hands to your knees. Gently close the eyes. Just taking a deep breath to help you shift the focus inwards. Just taking a moment here to come into the body and settle. Preparing the mind for the practice of yoga. By shifting your attention inwards. Noticing that difference from having the attention outwards, which is probably how it was before. You're getting ready for the class, you're in the world, doing things, and now the focus is inward. So just notice that difference. It's almost like a tangible difference of just taking that moment and shifting inwards. Becoming aware of the body, becoming aware of maybe some thoughts that are running through your head. Just noticing whatever comes up from this initial shift, anything that you feel in the body, anything you notice in the mind, anything you notice in the breath. And now, specifically bring your attention to the breath. Notice the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. And just for a little bit, for now, we're just going to allow the breath to be natural. So just feel the breath as it flows in and out of the nostrils. Excuse me. Feel the breath as it touches the insides of the nostrils. Watching it as it moves in and out. The distinct awareness of the inhale, distinct awareness of the exhale. Now we're gently going to start to deepen the breath, which is going to be helpful for us once we start moving and connecting our movements to our breathing. So our movements are a little bit long, so we want the breath to be long to be able to match the length of the movement. Or rather have the movement match the length of the breath. But we want a really long, smooth breath when we start practicing asana. So gently at your own pace and within your own breath capacity, start to deepen and lengthen the breath. So making the breath a little bit more active and slowing it down. So adding resistance to the breath. In the same way we add resistance to our movements to bring in a sense of control. So to add resistance to the breath. So slowing down how quickly you let the breath come in and how quickly you let the breath come out. Making that a slower process. So you really can become intimate with the details of the breath, slowing it down so you can really study all of the aspects of the breath. The inhale aspect, the exhale aspect, and all of the spaces in between the inhales and the exhales. Slowing it down and observing each part of the breath. And you can look at the breath having 4 parts. The inhale, the space between the inhale and the exhale, and then the space between the exhale and the inhale. Good, and if you're familiar with Ujjayi breathing, gently activate Ujjayi to help you slow down the breath. So notice how that gentle constriction in the throat allows you to add that resistance to the breath to slow it down. It's similar to the action you do in your throat when you're whispering. It's actually the same action you do. So if you want to try whispering, whisper. And notice what the throat is doing. Try to maintain that. Keep the mouth closed and breathe in and out through the nose. And then it starts to add a sound to the breath when you use your Ujjayi breathing. It's like an audible thing. And I kind of like to think of, or I think of her, a teacher told me this actually, that sound of the breath is another object of meditation. It kind of brings the attention back into the present moment. So that sound the breath makes with Ujjayi breathing is such a good tool to bring our attention back to the moment. You hear that sound and it's a really soothing sound. So it's like kind of soothes our nervous system and yeah. Now we'll just take a few breaths together. Exhale, completely exhaling and emptying the lungs so we can start in the same place. We'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, keeping the lower belly gently pulled in as you fill from the lower part of the lungs all the way up to the clavicle bones. Exhale, again, gently pull in the lower belly as you empty from the top all the way to the bottom, completely emptying the lungs. Inhale from bottom to top. Exhaling from top to bottom. Following the pathway of the breath. Inhale as the breath comes in and you fill up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, smoothing out the edges of the breath. No straining the breath. Exhale. Slowly let the breath out. Inhale, feel the sit bones rooting down into the ground. Exhale as you reach to the crown of the head, relaxing the shoulders, neck is free. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhaling. Returning to breath at your own pace. Observing the residue from this deep breathing. Sitting in this residue for just a moment. know that this is a practice you can come back to at any time. For just like a quick 5-minute practice in the middle of your day, or when you're a little bit stressed or anxious or really consumed in the midst of a problem, step away, sit and breathe. And then you can go back into whatever you're doing. Super powerful. Okay. Bring the palms to heart center. I'll start by chanting the Ashtanga Yoga opening mantra. You can join me or you can just listen. Take a deep breath in through the nose, starting with an Om. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinday Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangali Khayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashanti Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale the hands back down to your knees, gently open the eyes. Good. Okay, we're gonna get started. Like I said, we're moving slow today. Bring some restoration into the body and some restoration into the practice of Ashtanga yoga. I think Ashtanga can sometimes be like really like harsh and like we're forcing ourselves into certain shapes. So I kind of want to invite the opposites in today's practice and just start to learn how to invite that into every time we practice Ashtanga yoga and balancing out the efforts and the working towards something with the just like release and surrendering to whatever is at any given day. Okay, so I'm gonna move my meditation cushion to the side for now, and we'll come into cat cows. So just gently warm up the spine, spreading the fingers wide, pressing down through the base of the pointer finger, and then inhale, drop the lower belly, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and reach forward with the chest. Exhale, tucking the tailbone under, rounding through the back, relaxing the neck, pressing into the palms, spreading the shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale, deep breath in. We're moving with the breath using the same Ujjayi breathing. Exhale. So just start feeling that articulation through each vertebrae. Inhale, checking in with the spine, like how does your spine feel today? Exhale, rounding, pressing the shoulders down, relaxing the neck. Inhale, lifting the sit bones, lifting the chest. Exhale, full breath out, really squeezing every last drop of breath out. Inhale, deep breath in, full lungs, and exhale. Good. We'll just take a quick puppy pose. I just love it to open up the shoulders and open up the upper back. So moving the hands forward just a little bit, and then you can drop the elbows down, drop the forehead down, and bring the palms together in a prayer position. So this is one version. You can also elevate, if this is too deep, you can also elevate yourself on some blocks here, on the elbows and the head. If you want to go deeper, you can straighten the arms and bring the chest down towards the floor and the chin down. You can also be in that position, that version with the arms straight with the forehead down. It just depends on what's comfortable in the neck. So wherever you are, allow the chest to soften down. Feel the chest reaching and sinking into the mat. Using your exhales to allow you to go deeper and to find some release and relaxation where engagement isn't necessary. There's not a lot of engagement necessary at all in this posture. All right, slowly start to make your way back up with the hands on the mat. And we'll come into downward facing dog. Good, ease into this one if you need to bend one knee and then bend the other knee. You're gonna rock the hips side to side. Using the breath, keeping the breath long and steady. Finding that Ujjayi breath. And on your next inhale, start to walk the feet forward. You can bring the feet hip width distance apart as close as you can to the hands. And just hang over the legs. You can grab onto opposite elbows. Releasing, bend the knees if you need to, especially if you have tension in the lower back or tight hamstrings. Bend the knees. And try to just drape the torso over the thighs as you release through the spine of the neck. Feeling into the bottom of the feet. Feel the weight moving down through those points of contact. And then on your next inhale, press down through the feet as you roll up through the spine. Slowly, as slow as you can, and roll through each vertebrae. And then coming to the top of the mat into Samasthiti. Feet together or feet separated if you need that extra stability. Good, and we'll start moving with Surya Namaskar A. I'm going to use blocks for Surya Namaskar A. It's really nice to just give you a little bit of extra space. So I'm gonna have them here ready for when I step back. Okay, take a deep breath in here. And fully exhaling. Inhale, bringing the arms over your head, pressing down as you lift through the chest. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine, hands to the mat or to the box, and fold over the legs, relax the spine. Inhale to half lift, reach the chest forward, fingertips touching the floor, or bend the knees if you need to. Exhale, step back into a plank, lower the knees down, and bend the elbows. You can come all the way down to the floor. Inhale into upward facing dog. Straighten the arms or keep them bent if you need to alleviate some compression, but the blocks here are great for alleviating any compression in the back. Exhale into downward facing dog. And then here I'll remove the blocks for downward facing dog. You can also take child's pose, or you can take a half down dog here where the knees are on the floor. It's like you have shorter legs. All right, find your breath, smoothing out the edges of the breath. 4, long, steady breathing. Use your exhales to find where you can relax and where you can release. And 5, fully exhaling. And on your inhale, start to walk the feet forward into half lift, lengthening, finding the space. Exhale, folding, pulling in the lower belly. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, slowly bring the hands back down into Samasthiti. Good. Same thing. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, full breath out. Using the blocks, folding. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. Exhale, step back into a plank. Lower the knees if you need to and bend the elbows. You can come all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Reach through the chest, find the space. Exhale into downward facing dog. One. 2. 3. Gently pulling in the lower belly. Feel that hollowing out through the lower belly. 5. Fully exhaling. And start to walk the feet forward. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, folding. Inhale, arms over your head. Press down as you reach up, finding the space through the center line. Exhale, Samastitihi. Good. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, moving with the breath. Exhale, folding, relaxing the back, relaxing the neck. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Any version you want to take. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the chest. Exhale, into downward facing dog or child's pose. 1, 2, finding the space between the rib cage and the hips. Reach the hips up and back, pressing into the palms. 3. Relax the neck. 4. 5. Fully exhaling. And then start to walk up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, arms over your head, gazing up. Exhale into Samastitihi. Okay, let's just do one Surya Namaskar B. Okay. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the chest, Botanasana. Exhale, fold forward, relax. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, rolling through the spine, pull the lower belly in. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the right foot forward in between the hands or as close as you can get it. Lower the back knee. And let's just kind of take a break here to soften before we keep going. Stay with the breath. And specifically, we're trying to soften. So the blocks are actually really good to support you. You can also have the hands on the upper thigh, or you can keep the hands on the floor. So specifically, we're trying to soften through the front of the left hip. So just use your breath, use your exhales to see how and where you can relax around the front of the left hip. So what's getting in your way from releasing there? Maybe it's tension somewhere else. Just kind of exploring with your mind's eye, with your inside eyes, that area around the hip and the left side. And the right side too, like the inner right hip, the inner groin. I feel some stretching there too. Good. Breath. Take long, deep, steady breaths using your Ujjayi breathing. If you want to make it super deep, you won't be here for too much longer, but if you want to take it super deep, you can even bring the forearms down to the floor. Got a couple more breaths here. Good, and start to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee and lower the back heel. Bend the right knee so it's over the right ankle. Pull the lower belly in. Inhale as you lift the chest, arms over your head. Square the shoulders forward. Exhale, come right back down. Find your plank on an inhale. And then exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, or just come up halfway. Exhale into downward facing dog. Bring the left foot forward and come into I think this is called lizard on the left side. Good, take the version that you want to work with today. And again, now we're feeling into the front of the right hip. Use your exhales to explore any possibility of releasing. Letting go of any engagement that's not necessary to maintain this posture. Relax the shoulders. Stay with the breath. A couple more. Good. Make your way back up. Tuck the back toes. Lift the knee and lower the heel. Bend the left knee. Pull the lower belly in. Inhale. Lift the chest. Arms over your head. Square the shoulders forward. Keep pulling in the lower belly and finding the space between the rib cage and the hips. Exhale. Come back down. Find your plank. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale, deep breath in, upward facing dog. Exhale, full breath out, downward facing dog or child's pose. 1, 2, 3. Smoothing out the edges of the breath. 4. 5. Fully exhaling. And then make your way back up to the top into half lift. Exhale, folding. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the chest, reach the chest forward, up. Exhale into Samastitihi. Good. Okay, let's come into Botanasana. Bring the feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, fold forward, catch the big toes. You're wrapping the pointer finger and the middle finger around the big toes. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, fold over the legs. 1, releasing through the back, through the neck. 2, strong legs or the knees are a little bit bent. If you want to even add more release through this posture, bending the knees is super helpful. 4, 5, inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Parahastasana, slide the hands underneath the feet, toes up against the wrist crease. Inhale, reach to the chest. Exhale, folding. 1, long steady breaths. 2, bend the knees if you need to. 3, even if you don't need to, it kind of feels nice. 4, 5, inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, release the hands and come back up into Samastitihi. So we're into Untitled Chapter. Inhale, step the right foot back. Right toes pointing towards the back, left toes in. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side. Exhale, find your shin with the right hand, the big toe, or your hand on the block. Good. Reaching up with the left arm and feeling that spreading across both hands. 2, pulling in the lower belly and find that smooth, steady breath. 4, gazing up towards the left fingers, or if that's too much strain on the neck, just gazing to the side. 5, fully exhaling. Inhale as you come up and switch the feet. Left toes towards the front of the mat, arms out to the side, and spread through the hands as you bring the left hand down. Gazing up or gazing to the side. Feel that reaching across both hands, spreading the shoulder blades away from each other. Pulling the lower belly in. feeling into the body. 5, fully exhaling. Inhale as you come up, and then pivot the toes in. And let's do, instead of Trikonasana B, let's do Parsvakonasana B. So that's where the left knee comes down to the floor. So now I'm kind of skipping around and putting different postures together where they don't normally go together, but I think that's okay. Inhale, reach the left arm up. So feel that space that you can create through the front of the body and through the front of the left hip by really reaching that left arm up. You're going to cross over to the right as you tuck the tailbone under and start rounding through the spine to find the twist. The elbow can be on the outside of the right knee, or the shoulder can be on the outside of the right knee. Palms can be together, or the left hand can be down on the floor. Good. Take your pick. And then find a drishti point somewhere to the side or gazing up towards the ceiling. If your palms are together, you can press the elbow down to help you lift and reach the chest up towards the ceiling to find that twist. Lower belly is soft, shoulders moving away from the ears so the neck is free. Good, one more breath. Fully exhaling and slowly come out of it. Okay. Other side, you can pivot around to the front or just bring your left foot forward. Good. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Find that space, pull the lower belly in. Exhale, rounding, tucking the tailbone under as you cross over the center line into the twist. Take your version. Find that twisting through each vertebrae as you lengthen the spine, reach the chest forward, and then reach the chest up towards the ceiling. Good. Smoothing out the edges of the breath. One more. And then fully exhaling. Inhale, come back up into Samasthiti, top of the mat. Okay. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, step the right foot back, feet parallel to each other. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Bring the hands to the mat. Inhale, reach forward with the center of the chest. Exhale, start to bend the elbows if you can, if you have that space, and bring the crown of the head towards the mat. 1, legs are strong, pulling in the lower belly. 2, releasing through the back, through the neck. 4, 5, inhale, straighten the arms, reach the chest. Exhale there. Inhale, come all the way up, hands to your hips, exhaling at the top. C, inhale, reach the arms out to the side, spread through the fingertips. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back, or you can use a strap here. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, fold forward. And start to move the hands away from the hips. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the shoulders. Again, using the exhale to find spaces to release. And then if you can, you shift the weight forward to bring more weight to the hands. More release. Good. Bend the knees if you need to. Take one more breath. Fully exhaling. And as you inhale, come up slowly. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. All right. Just going to check the time here really quick. Let's come down to the floor. Inhale, arms over your head. Palms touch, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward, long spine. Pull the lower belly in and relax the back. Inhale into half lift. Exhale, step back into a plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. And then we will come down to seated. So you can lower the knees, cross the shins, and send the legs through. Good. So we're going to find our sit bones. The legs are straight, feet are flexed. Bring the hands next to the hips and find a super straight spine here. So this is a really good opportunity to bring the attention back in if it's not already in, or if you've lost that connection. Observe the residue of the standing postures and find stillness in that residue. So really tuning into the deep inner body, using your inside eyes to just scan the body and feel into the body. Feel the heels rooting down, the sit bones rooting down, the chest lifting, moving the rib cage away from the hips, shoulders away from the ears. Make sure you're not pinching the shoulder blades together. Gently pulling in the lower belly and reconnecting with that long, steady breath. Smoothing out the edges. And being with the breath through the entire process, through those 4 points, through 4 parts of the breath. Good, take one more breath here. And releasing that, let's come into Botanasana. Inhale, fold forward, catch the big toes or just catch somewhere along the legs and take a deep breath in. Find that space. Exhale to relax over the legs. 1, relaxing the back and the neck. 2, moving the shoulders away from the ears. 3, bring your attention into the deep inner spaces of the pelvis. 4, creating space in the pelvic bowl. 5, inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. And release the feet. Let's come into Botanasana. I'm going to take the modified version where I bend the knees and plant the feet. And if you have a block, it's super handy to squeeze the block with the knees. Hands are behind the hips a good amount, fingertips pointing forward. Roll the shoulders forward, reach with the chest. And then inhale, lift the hips up and drop the head back. Or you can gaze down towards your navel. 2, 3, 4, lifting the hips. 5, exhale, slowly come down. And let's release that. Let's take Janu Shirshasana 8. So you're going to bend the right knee, bring the right knee to your chest, and then let the knee fall away towards the floor. So if you need to support this posture a little bit, you can bring a block underneath the knee if you feel pressure in the knee. You can also sit on top of something if it's uncomfortable for you to be sitting on the floor like this to find that straight spine from the seated position. Sit on a cushion or something. And then inhale, square the shoulders forward. Exhale, pull the lower belly in as you fold forward and catch the left foot. And then feeling into this area around the right hip, around the right side of the lower back, and see if you can find any release there. Pulling in the lower belly. Relaxing all the muscles along the back and the neck. Find your breath, long, steady breaths. Let's take one more here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Release that and switch sides. Straighten the right knee, bend the left knee. Go ahead, set yourself up if you need to with any props. Good. Square the shoulders over the right leg. Inhale as you fold forward the long spine. And then exhale, relax the back. Good. Now checking in with the left hip, the left glute, the lower back. Softening that, allowing the hip to go into that external rotation. As you soften the left sit bone back down towards the floor. Good. Now right leg is engaged. Kind of stabilizing the entire posture with that right leg. And then everything else, find the softening into the shape. Allow the body to just relax into the shape. Allow it to move into this. Got a couple more breaths here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Good. You can take a vinyasa or you can take a modified vinyasa, which is just going up into Botanasana. So inhale, slide the hands back. Exhale, lift the hips, lower the hips back down, and then come back into Dandasana. So I actually did the breath counts wrong. So you do exhale, bring the hands back, inhale, lift the hips, or you can even just do this, so just reaching the chest up, exhale, come back down, and then inhale, come back with the legs straight into seated position. So you can do that instead of the vinyasas if you want to. Okay, let's do, what should we do? Let's do Triang Mukha Kapata Paschimottanasana. So we're gonna bend the knee and put the foot on the outside of the hip. So if this is a lot of tension in the knee, you can do a couple things. You can bring the knee out to the side, away from the left leg, or you can elevate the hips and sit on something, sit on a block. So that alleviates some pressure as well. Okay? Inhale, fold forward. You can bring the hands to either side of the foot, take a deep breath, find the length, and then exhale, fold. So you can keep the hands on either side, and that can help you stabilize and center and balance this posture because there's that tendency to lean over to the side. So keep your hands there if you want, or you can catch the left foot. Good. The legs are internally rotating, spinning inwards towards each other, the thighs, the thigh bones, femur bones spinning inwards. So feel that happening from deep within the pelvis. Good, one more breath. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Good. So we're going to release that. Straighten the right leg. Bend the left knee. Good. Flex the right foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Using the breath, staying with the breath. Relaxing, finding release with the exhales. Where can you soften here? One more. Inhale, look up, and exhale there. Good. Okay. Now take a vinyasa, or you can do my modified vinyasa. Exhale, slide the hands behind the hips. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, bring the hips back down. And then inhale, come back to seated. All right, let's lie down on our backs. We're going to do some bridge pose. So the first I'll show you like the active bridge pose, and then we can do a supported bridge if you have blocks available. So the hands next to the hips on the floor, feet parallel to each other and aligned with the outside edge of your hips. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, just slightly lift the hips as you reach the knees over the toes. Inhale, press into the feet and start to reach the chest towards the chin. So just breaking that up into two parts can be super helpful to understand the posture a little bit better. Pressing into the feet, bringing the knees in towards each other, and reaching the chest towards the chin. Good. 4, 5. And as you exhale, slowly come down through one vertebrae at a time, rolling through the spine. And the sacrum is the last thing to touch the floor. Okay, you can do that one more time. Or you can take a supported bridge, which is really nice. You put a block underneath the glutes, and then another block underneath the sacrum. Or you can just have one block underneath the sacrum. So I'm going to do on this second level. You can just do, if you just have one block, then that works too. Find a comfortable place in the lower back sacrum area to put the block. Good. Supported bridge. So you're putting yourself into a shape and then trying to relax into that shape. So like you're draping the body over the blocks. Good. Don't let the knees splay out too much. If you're doing bridge pose, you can count your own 5 breaths and then come back down. Keep the breath long, smooth, and steady. Good. And then if you don't have blocks and you're doing the more active version, go ahead and do one more round of bridge for 5 breaths, and then you can come back down. Try to separate the 2 movements of the posture. The exhale, just reaching the knees forward, then the inhale, reaching the chest up towards the chin. Where can you relax? Okay. And supported bridge, as delicious as this feels, we're going to come out of it. Remove the blocks, and then bring the knees into the chest. Good. And then just rock here a couple times. And come up to seated. Okay. Now, we are going to do a quick little meditation. So, come to a seated position. You can grab your bolster and your cushions, whatever you need. Come to a comfortable seated position. First, let's do yoga mudra. So you can wrap the arms behind the back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, relaxing forward. If you have a block, you can rest the head on the block, or you can, if you can, reach the floor, rest the head on the floor. If not, just go as far as you can. Good. Finding the breath, really turning the attention inwards. Keeping the breath long, smooth, and steady. Take one more breath here. Slowly start to come back up. Release the hands. So find your comfortable seated position and make sure again that you're super comfortable. So if you need to elevate the hips, if you need to sit on a chair, go ahead and do that. You want the spine to be straight, so you're not leaning up against anything. Shoulders are over the hips. Okay. And then just kind of let the arm bones just hang out of the shoulders. So let gravity just take that down. And then you bend the elbows from that point where the arms are just hanging out of the shoulder sockets. And then rest the hands wherever they land. So they don't have to reach the knees. Kind of just wherever they land, from the arms hanging out of the shoulders, and then the elbows bend. And then the hands just kind of rest. And where they end up on your thighs just kind of depends on proportions. Okay, and then go gently close the eyes. Good. Let the breath be natural, so you can let go of this controlled, long, steady breath, and just let the breath be natural and spontaneous. Feeling into the sit bones, feeling that heaviness moving into the sit bones. Good. Feeling that connection to the ground. Imagine like that connection is taking you all the way through to the center of the earth. Reaching to the crown of the head. The neck is relaxed and free. Shoulders are relaxed. Feeling the arms just hanging out of the shoulders. And slightly lifting through the chest, feeling the space in the center of the chest. Feel almost as if the heart is just floating above the hips. Feeling the breath move in and out of the heart space. Observing the breath move in and out into the heart space. Feel the vastness there and the spaciousness. And if the mind wanders into thought, simply noticing that the mind has wandered. Bring the attention back to the breath, moving in and out of the heart space, into the space. Observing the breath. The breath moving through the body. You can do this, you can bring the attention back as the mind wanders again and again and again. Starting new in any moment. Continue strengthening the pathway back to presence as many times as you need to. Back to relaxation, to softness. The discomfort comes up in the body. Trying not to move and give into the discomfort. Try not to fidget. Simply observe where the discomfort is coming from. And then bring the attention back to the breath, moving in and out of the heart space. Feeling into this vast openness in the center of the chest. Feeling into the body. Coming back to presence. Thinking of someone that means a lot to you. It can be anybody. Just maybe the first person that comes to mind. And holding them in this space. Holding them in the heart space. Can be more than one person if you want. Someone who you wish them well, you wish them happiness, freedom, liberation. Holding them in the heart space. Resting here. Maybe somebody that comes to mind who is not so easy to wish well, not so easy to hold in the space because of some frustration they may bring up. Holding that person in the heart space in the same way that you held the first person, a group of people. Wishing them well, love, happiness. Liberation, freedom. Now holding yourself in the heart space. Breathing into a soft belly. And again, breathing into a soft belly. Feeling the sit bones. Namaste. Thank you. If you want to take Shavasana now, you can, but this is where I'll leave you. Let's see. Okay, there's some messages here. Thank you, everybody. Oh. Thank you, everybody. I was just checking the comments. There are some comments I don't understand. Thank you for being here. I hope you feel a little bit more relaxed. I definitely do. Again, if you need to take Shavasana, go ahead and take Shavasana, lay down on your back for a little bit longer, kind of feel into the residue of the practice, and just rest there for a moment, relax. Super important that we take time to relax and rest so that when we go out into the world and we do things, it's from like a place of rest and calmness. I know we all want to be a little bit calmer. So thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday and take it easy. All right, I'm gonna go. Unless there's any questions, I'll stay on for 3 minutes because I finished a little bit early. But if you have any questions, you can type them in to the chat. I would love to hear them. All right. Thank you. See you next week.